Welcome back. Every year, approximately 35,000 people are diagnosed with multiple myeloma in the US, and more than 20% of all cases occur in African Americans. Janssen Oncology has launched a national campaign called That's My Word to drive awareness and better health outcomes for multiple myeloma patients in Black communities. And joining me to talk about the campaign and the importance of early diagnosis, Tiffany Williams, a retired pediatric nurse practitioner and cancer advocate who was diagnosed with multiple myeloma at age 46, and Trisha Elam Walker. She lost her brother, publicly known as the famous American rapper and record producer Guru, to multiple myeloma. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Tiffany, when were you diagnosed with multiple myeloma?
I was diagnosed at the age of 46, 9.5 years ago. It was after I had experienced this sudden and severe onset of back pain that I knew wasn't right and led me to get an appointment with my doctor.
Interesting. So, what are the symptoms of multiple myeloma?
Some of the more common symptoms of multiple myeloma include bone pain, oftentimes low back pain, fatigue, as well as frequent infections. And those are just a few of many. And I would say that myeloma is so different for everyone, and the symptoms are also different. So people present with different symptoms. So it's just really important to know your body and to listen to your body and to act when something doesn't feel right.
And how long did it take them to diagnose you with multiple myeloma?
I had a very, very quick diagnosis, and that's not typical for most people, particularly Black people.
How soon did you start treatment?
I started treatment about a week after diagnosis, so it all happened really quickly for me.
So it sounds like, again, knowing your body's important and paying attention and going to the doctor, which is something that sometimes, we put off, but it could be critical and crucial to being diagnosed. I also understand, Tiffany, that you're a support group leader. What are some of the key things that you emphasize to people when they've been diagnosed with multiple myeloma?
I think one of the most important messages I can give to people in the support group, as well as anyone diagnosed with multiple myeloma, is to have a multiple myeloma specialist on their team, particularly leading their care. And that's probably one of the most important things anyone with multiple myeloma can do.
So I understand that while multiple myeloma is really diagnosed more often in people over 60, Black people are typically diagnosed 5 to 10 years earlier than other ethnicities. Trisha, your brother was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. He was a very young man.
Yes, he passed away at the young age of 48. I do not know when he was diagnosed because he chose not to share that information. And he did not receive treatment for his multiple myeloma. So one of the reasons I'm involved in this campaign, and it's so important to me, is to spread the word about this disease and about the fact that it is treatable with an early diagnosis and with early treatment. It has made our family much more aware and conscientious about our health and proactive. And so I most recently had a normal blood test, a regular blood test that showed my white blood cell count was low, which could possibly be a symptom of multiple myeloma. So I had that checked out further and did not have it at this time, but it's made me much more aware, and I know that I have to continually have my blood checked to make sure that's not what's going on. So I've encouraged other family members to do the same because there's also a genetic aspect to this disease.
So if you're at risk, being aware and having your blood tested as advised by your doctor is also really important. Trisha, tell us about the That's My Word campaign. How can people get involved?
Yes, absolutely. We want the campaign to penetrate the Black community because we are so affected by it, and we know there are health disparities. And so we're asking people to go to that'smywordmm.com, check out that website, as well as follow That's My Word MM on Facebook and Instagram, and get involved and get proactive about their health and the health of their loved ones, and make their own promise to, take care of themselves and to learn about multiple myeloma.
Wow. So guys, again, it's really important that you're on top of your health. So go to your doctor, get that basic checkup. And if anything's wrong or amiss in your body and you feel it and you just know it, check with your doctor and find out what's going on instead of putting it off, because it can ultimately and possibly cost you your life. Trisha and Tiffany, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. Really appreciate you joining me today.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And I'll be right back.